The Dallas Mavericks have absolutely been killing it recently. During the last couple of seasons, it was evident that the Mavs have a future, and it seems that their time has come. They were always known for their offense and piling up points, but recently it is the opposite that is winning them games. Enormous energy and constant switching on defense are the main reasons for the Mavs' success. One of the best defenses in the league allows them to go toe-to-toe with any offense and gives them a reliable advantage in the playoffs where hustle and composure are most critical. Today's video will be about the Dallas Mavericks defense and how it has won them recent games. In this video, we will show how the Mavs are ruining teams with their locked-in defense and setting the tone for the upcoming playoffs. With Luka leading the pack and new addition Spencer Dinwiddie's late-game heroics, they seem unbeatable at times. We will talk about the influence that Dallas Mavericks' stellar defense has been having on their success this regular season and beyond into the playoffs. But before all that, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. If you have any similar or different ideas why the Dallas Mavericks are playing great, hit the comment section, as I would love to hear your opinion. Let's keep rolling. NBA fans are used to Dallas having one of the better offenses in recent years and putting up big numbers in the points per game column. They had one of the best offensive seasons last year. However, all those teams had one of the worst defensive ratings and were vulnerable in a lot of areas which the opponents used against them. Though this season they flipped the switch, and it's like they changed the batteries, because their will and energy has now skyrocketed. The remarkable offense was replaced by an elite and stingy defense, and their offense became average. Most of the credit can be traced back to the former Dallas Mavericks player and current head coach, Jason Kidd. Even in his playing days, he was known as a pesky defender and just a physical opponent. With the Los Angeles Lakers, where he won the championship 2 years ago as an assistant coach, he learned the essence and ways of playing team defense under coach Frank Vogel, who is a defensive maestro himself. Jason Kidd and his staff deserve a ton of credit for how this team has performed on the defensive end. In Milwaukee, his teams were extremely aggressive against the pick and roll. Too aggressive, really, as that aggressiveness put a ton of pressure on the backline and it burned them within a season as opponents adjusted. He is implementing a scheme that understands the strengths and weaknesses of his personnel rather than forcing his players to execute a scheme that doesn't fit them. The success of the Mavericks in the first round will be matchup dependent, but it is refreshing to see that Kidd has been adaptable in his first season as head coach. However, the players contributed the same and clicked just like that. Even without a traditional tall rim protector, they limited other teams' easiest shots. Before the trade of Kristaps Porzingis, who led the team in blocks per game with 1.7, they played basically the same under the basket on D, if not worse. He was a liability for the quick defenders and was constantly being taken advantage of on the pick and roll. Since his departure to the Washington Wizards and the arrival of Spencer Dinwiddie, the Mavs have had arguably one of the best defenses in the league. With Porzingis gone, Kidd understands Dallas lacks a true rim protector and is using sound rotations and team defense to help contain opposing offenses. The Mavericks are one of two teams that have better defensive metrics against the top half of the league's offenses than the bottom half. The Mavs have been employing a type of matchup zone where they play the man on the perimeter and employ zone principles on the back end. The Mavericks are relying on numbers on defense. They know that threes are dangerous and can hurt you, but it's worse if you're giving up easy baskets under the rim. For this defense to work, players have to trust each other. For the weak side defender to crash into the lane and abandon his man, he has to know that his teammates will rotate over to the open man. This defense works because most players asked to stand in the weak side corner can either shoot or can attack closeouts, but rarely both. If the player receiving the pass is a subpar shooter, the Mavericks are happy to let them shoot their shot. If that player is a knockdown shooter, however, the opponent has to be good enough to make the passes necessary to get them the ball on time. If the offense hesitates for a split second, that open space can evaporate quickly. In recent games against the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics, they played some grit and grind defense that may very well match the Memphis Grizzlies team back in the 2012 to 2013 season. Against the Brooklyn Nets, they held superstar Kevin Durant to just 2 points in the second quarter with only 2 field goal attempts recently. Even though the Dallas Mavericks were in a scoring drought, they came back in the fourth quarter and pushed back in the end to get the win. KD hit a massive three-pointer 10 seconds before the end, but after the timeout, Luka got the ball. He took advantage of being double-teamed, and instead of forcing a tough, long-distance shot, he used his playmaking prowess to pass it to an open Spencer Dinwiddie, who hit the buzzer-beating game-winner three-pointer. It was an exceptional victory that brought motivation, which should translate to the next game. And versus the Celtics, it was more of the same. At first glance, it was a matchup of two superstars, Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. But when you scratch the surface, for everyone that sees from a true perspective of the game, it was a contest of the two best defenses in the NBA. When you dive a bit more into stats, you will see that the Mavs hold the other teams to a league-leading 103.7 points per game and are second in opponent three-point percentage at only 33.6%. They have the slowest pace and they like to get rough. The Celtics are at the same level, having the best opponent two-point and three-point percentages at 49.3% and 33.6% respectively. But it was the Mavs who came on top this time, as they just didn't know when to give up as they clawed their way back up. Tatum scored 21 points, but shot a miserable 7 and 23 from the field, largely due to Dorian Finney-Smith, who was on him the whole game and didn't let him breathe. In addition, he hit 4 three-pointers and finished with 19 points. Luka had the best game overall, posting 26 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. But it was once again Dinwiddie who came up with the biggest play of the game, hitting a game-deciding triple to seal the win. He finished with 18 points. After the game, Dinwiddie made some comments in the post-game conference after the Brooklyn Nets game. "I'm thankful to Luka for trusting me. In Boston, we talked about how he broke down the defense, and Robert Williams had a natural reaction of a big to go to the paint, and he left me open. This one, I was in the high spot on the right side. Luka got the switch he wanted, he was going to operate. They sent the double and he just passed out of the double because he was already on the right side of the floor. So I just shot the ball," he said. Luka Doncic also commented in a post-game interview about the last play of the game. "I give trust to my guys. They can make a shot. If they're going to double me, that's always going to be a better shot. He, Spencer Dinwiddie, was open, and I think that was a tough shot, and he made it once again, man," he said. And what do you guys think? How far can this kind of play take the Dallas Mavericks in the playoffs? Will they be able to defend tougher teams overall? Can Luka Doncic and co. finally take the next step with an upset performance this year? I would love to hear back from you, so please don't be shy and let me know what you think in the comments. Oh, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you want to hear more NBA stories from around the league. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.